Harrod model we has done. Okay, and here also we will be having the same assumption. We will start with full economy equilibrium. We will consider Coulomb economy. Okay, two sector, and neighbor force is exogenously given on this aspect. Perfect competition, constant return to skin. In the Harrod model we have taken capital output ratio. Okay, here we meted output capital ratio to be constant. Okay, when I am taking output capital ratio to be constant, that means change in output due to change in capital stock, okay, will also be constant. Okay, when average is constant, marginal will also be constant. Okay, so when I am writing in this form or in this way, okay, you have done in microeconomics too. Okay, total product part. Okay, in this way we represent marginal product of capital. If you remember, change in output due to change in capital stock, it represents marginal product of capital. Okay, and in the previous lecture, output per unit of labor. Okay, I determine productivity of labor. Okay, and this is constant also. This also is this term. This term represents productivity of labor. You have done total product curve, right? In the short term, given the capital stock, you have derived the total product curve. Okay, this represents productivity of labor. Okay, we have used when I am deriving natural growth rate, and okay, here also when I am writing this output per unit of capital, it represents productivity of capital. Okay, and you know this by the term marginal product of capital. Okay, how much unit of output can be produced by a unit of labor, unit of capital. Okay, keeping labor constant. Okay, this is the definition. Okay, we have this kind of setting. Okay, and based on that setting, we are going to work out. Okay, so in the DOMO model, okay, growth in output and production will be realized when aggregate demand increases sufficiently. Okay, this is the starting point of the statement, and it is based on, as I told you in the introductory lecture. Okay, it is based on investment multiplier and your productive effect. What is investment multiplier? Everybody know. Okay, effect on income due to change in investment. We write in full. Okay, and what is productive effect? Effect of income on production. Okay, effect on income due to production. Okay, here again in the DOMO model. Okay, DOMO has assigned do and not to investment. Okay, so what are the that one? So second point is that DOMO assigned do and not to investment. One is generate income, and second is add to productive capacity. Okay, and remember when I say it generate income, okay, we are talking about short term. Okay, Keynesian static framework. When we say that investment add to productive capacity, that means investment is addition to capital stock. Okay, we are talking about long run. Okay, so this is a supply side effect. In some of the book you will find that this aspect they are associated with classical, and this aspect they are associated with Keynesian. Okay, but whatever they have written, okay, output will be demand determined. Okay, it will be determined by the component of aggregate demand. Here we have two components, consumption and investment. Okay, consumption is more or less not changing. Okay, it will remain stable. Okay, we are talking already about this thing. So output will be demand determined. Okay, so it is investment in the Harrod model through accelerator principle. Okay, is affecting your demand side, and here it is through multiplier. Okay, that I am going to show it. Okay, so in some book they will say that it generate income. Okay, so he used the Keynesian framework, and at productive capacity, that means he talk about normal classical thing. Okay, so it will not make much changes. Okay, but ultimately what we are doing is that whatever output is determined, it will be determined from the demand side. Okay, because output capital ratio is fixed given. Okay, that we are going to solve. Okay, Fixed given means it is exogenously given. We cannot change it. But investment we can change within the model. Okay, that is what we are saying. DOMA assign dual node to investment, is generate income and add to the productive capacity. Okay, and the equality between these two. Okay, growth in aggregate demand and growth in output or capacity output. Okay, determine my steady state growth rate or full employment growth rate. Okay, I repeat again, in the DOMA model, okay, equality between increase in aggregate demand and increase in capacity output determine your steady state growth rate. Okay, that is our purpose, that is what we want to do today. Is it clear, everyone? Yes, no? Okay. So I repeat one more time. Yeah. So remember this statement, this is the starting point. If you remember the starting point, everything will be very simple. Okay. What I say that growth in output and production, okay, like producer is producing the output, okay, will be realized, okay, when aggregate demand will increase sufficiently. If aggregate demand is not able to increase sufficiently, there will be some overproduction. Then economy will face problem. Okay, that is the case. Now we are talking about investment multiplier. It is based on two aspects. He has used investment multiplier and productive effect. Okay, that we are going to look at. And here also, economic growth is determined by accumulation of capital stock. Joey, you need to unmute yourself. Some voice is coming. Let me mute you. Just wait. Okay. And DOMA assign dual node to investment. Okay. And equality of increase in aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Okay. Provided that your aggregate demand increases sufficiently, we will achieve steady state growth. Okay. So first I will look at supply side, then I will look at demand side. I will look at how growth in supply side is determined. Okay, and that growth rate, okay, give me the what is the requirement at the steady state. How much output should be growing at the steady state? Then I will look at how much should be the growth rate of investment, okay, at a steady state, and that will be equal in both cases. So that particular growth rate, that rate, okay, at which my income is growing, at which my investment is growing, will give me my steady state growth rate. Okay. So what I am going to do? First, I am going to talk about supply side. Okay. Then I am going to determine growth rate, delta y by y from supply side. Okay. And look at on what factor, okay, this supply side growth rate depend. Okay. On what factor? Supply side growth rate depend. And remember, when we are talking about supply side, we are appealing to investment adding to productive capacity aspect, long term aspect. Okay. When the productive capacity will come up tomorrow or in the next period, whatever you want to say. Okay. When we are talking about demand side, okay, we want to know, okay, this growth in investment, okay, whether it matches to this growth rate in output or not. Okay. And we want to find a unique rate of growth, okay, at which your output growth rate will be equal to investment growth rate or growth in demand, because this is from demand side. Growth in demand must be equal to growth in output. Okay, and we will get a particular unique rate. Okay, say some rate I will turn it on. Okay, so at steady state, on the variable must be growing at the same rate. On the variable must be growing at the same rate. So your output is growing at the same rate, investment is growing at the same rate, saving will also grow at the same rate. Okay, so economy will be having steady state. So our purpose is to find that particular unique rate, okay, at which investment and income is growing at same rate. Okay, so that is what I am doing. So whatever you produce, okay, production is equal to output. Okay, simple thing. And from national income accounting, you know whatever you produce is your total output. Okay, and production will be some proportion of your capital stock. This is sigma sign. Okay, some proportion, and I am going to define what is this sigma. Okay, I am going to grab this thing. So production is some proportion of your capital stock. K is your real capital stock. Sigma is proportion. Okay, so whatever output you are producing, you require certain amount of capital stock. this sigma represent that proportion. Okay. So here what I can write, y equal to sigma k. Now it is very clear what is sigma. Okay, very simple. Y by k ratio is sigma, or you can write delta y over delta k. And output capital ratio here is given. Okay, very simple. What is sigma? Sigma is my change in y over change in k. Right now I told you what is this. This is productivity of capital. Okay, or you can write it this way. This represents productivity of capital. Output per unit of capital. Okay, this is the productivity of capital, or you can say how many unit of output can be produced by a unit of capital. How many unit of output can be produced by a unit of capital? This means the productivity of capital, and this you know by the term in the marginal productivity theory, marginal product of capital. Okay, so this gives me productivity of capital. Okay, this is first one. This is one. Now look at here. Okay, this is first part of the derivation. In order to explain us what is sigma, I have done it. Okay, now come to second part. Change in output will be some proportion to change in capital stock. Okay, then what will be the growth in output from supply side? Will be equal to this term. Clear, everyone? So your growth in output, I denote by gy. Okay, will be equal to sigma. What is delta k? As per definition, investment bar addition to capital stock. Okay, so delta can be I by 1. Instead of that, I write I. Okay, when the economy is growing at a steady state, okay, let me write it. When the economy is growing, okay, at full employment, steady state, okay, level of investment or rate of investment, okay, both mean the same thing here, okay, because we are not taking that part. Okay, so level of investment and rate of investment must be equal to level of saving and rate of saving. Okay, so when the economy is growing, okay, at full employment equilibrium in a steady state, okay, level of saving investment must be equal to level of saving. Okay, and you know saving will be some proportion of your income. Okay, that is why I say rate. Okay, S by y you can say rate of saving. Okay, propensity to save or MPS, whatever you want to say. Okay, same thing. Okay, so in this, instead of this, okay, in equilibrium, I can write this term or this term. Okay, let's do that. So I have here this part. Okay. So my growth in output will be equal to sigma S by y. Okay. Instead of this, I can write small s. Okay, let me write this S by y. Okay. Let's understand this statement first. This is what is sigma? Sigma is your output capital ratio. Okay, output capital ratio is given. Okay, so growth in output is determined by level of investment. If people are getting the point, growth in output, I am looking from supply side. So growth in output, okay, is determined by level of investment. So output is demand determined. Okay, that is why it is demand side growth theory. Since the capital output capital ratio is given, or productivity of capital is given, okay, this sigma is given, okay, my output is determined by level of investment. Okay, and what we are saying is that when the economy is growing, in order to maintain full employment equilibrium, okay, at a steady state, increase in the level of investment or your level of investment must be equal to your saving level. So I substitute here with this, and this by definition you know is your margin propensity to save, sigma s. So your growth in output will be this term sigma s. So in equilibrium, okay, at a steady state, output must be growing by sigma s. Okay, sigma is your output capital ratio, okay, and s is your saving level of perpendicular saving. Okay, this is that unit growth rate. Okay, if my investment delta I by I, if my investment is growing at this, yes, yeah, okay. So what I am saying is that this is the growth rate, okay, and this is the unique growth rate, okay, that we require. If my investment is growing at the same rate, okay, we can say that economy is having full employment growth rate at steady state. Okay, so that is what I am going to do next. So supply side is clear to everyone. Okay. Demand side I am looking at income equal to consumption plus investment, and here consumption will be proportion of income because we are not looking at long run. So I am not taking C bar. Investment will be autonomous I bar. Okay. Just substitute this here. This will be C y plus I bar. Okay. And this will be y. Take y term this time. Okay. So y will be 1 minus small c I bar. Y will be 1 over 1 minus c I bar. Okay. Now, what is 1 minus c? Anyone? Okay. Let me drive it for you. Okay. Income is what? Consumption plus saving. Okay. So change in income will be change in consumption over change in saving, divided both sides by change in income. Okay, this will be 1. This will be no, not money multiplier. This is multiplier, not money multiplier. Okay, this is Keynesian multiplier. Okay, delta y over y is 1. Okay, this is change marginal. Okay, in the Keynesian he has two attributes. Okay, or technical attributes, propensity. One is marginal propensity, okay, to consume, and average propensity. Okay, so he has considered two propensity. Okay, this is marginal consumption, so I write marginal propensity to consume, and this I write marginal propensity to save. Okay, what is MPC? Small c, you remember, and this I denote by small s. 1 minus small c will be equal to small s. Okay, 1 minus marginal propensity to consume equal to marginal propensity to save. So in this place I can add small s. Okay, so y will be equal to 1 over small s I bar. Okay, I love this part. In the examination they ask you Dover model, you have to drive it. Okay, here you cannot skip. Like in the Hadrot model, I say you can skip, but here you have to drive it. You cannot skip this part. So what will be change in income? 1 over 8 change in investment. Okay. What will be the growth in output from demand side? It will be this term. Okay. So demand side we are getting this term. Okay. Let's look at supply side. What we have from supply side? If you remember, output will be some proportion of capital in stock. Why? Because production is some proportion of capital in stock and output is equal to production. Okay. What is change in output? This thing. What is the growth in output? This term. Okay. So we will be having equilibrium growth. Okay. When aggregate demand equal to aggregate supply. So I equate these two growth rate. This is growth in aggregate demand and this is growth in aggregate supply. This I have derived from demand side. So this is growth in aggregate demand and this is growth in aggregate supply. Okay. So I will equate both. Let equate that thing. This is demand side 1 over S delta I over Y. This is sigma delta K over Y. This is from demand side, this is from supply side. And you know what is delta K? Investment in what? Addition to capital stock. Okay. This Y will cancel out. I take this I here, S here, that side. Then what we will have? Most of you people will be knowing. Okay. change in investment over investment will be equal to sigma s. Okay, so you see your growth in investment also equal to sigma is what? Output capital ratio, which is fixed, and your saving rate, and this is equal to your growth rate in output. So economy will have steady state in the DOMA model when growth in output, okay, will be equal to growth in investment, which is equal to this unique growth rate. Okay, if economy is able to achieve this, economy will have full employment growth rate, okay, at steady state. However, there can be divergence. Divergence issue we will see later on. Okay, first let's understand this thing with graph. So now I am going to explain the process of growth. Okay, in the Harrod model I have done it, and the Solow model I am doing it. Here I write saving, here I write investment, here I write income. Why? The thing is that I just want you people to ask question when I am doing Harrod graph. Okay, nobody asks the question. Why I have taken investment from this side? Okay. But nobody asks. Let's see how you understand. Since saving is a proportion of income, okay, so any proportion line you draw from the origin. Okay, if you want to clarify, watch part 3 video of the Keynesian model that I have done in the YouTube. Okay, and investment is autonomous. We are considering Keynesian multiplier, so it will be formed. Okay, say I1. Okay, so initially, first order of investment is what? It generates income. So equality of saving and investment generate income to Y. So equality of saving and investment determine your income level. Okay, what is the second round of investment? It add to the productive capacity. Everyone agree? Okay. So investment in the next period will add to the productive capacity. Okay. So this much of capital stock is going to come up in the next period. Okay. It's going to come up in the next period. This much of capital stock. Okay. So when more capital stock will come up, okay, what will happen? Output is equal to production, and output will be some proportion of capital stock. When more capital stock will come up, more output will be produced. Right? Yes or no? Okay. So more output start to be produced. Say Y2. So net increase in output is Y1, Y2, and your national income increases to Y2 or Y2. Okay? At this output level, okay, at its steady state, if I have to maintain this unique rate of growth, investment must increase from I1 to I2. Okay, I2. This much capacity, additional capacity is coming up. Yes or no? Then more income will be generated, so growth process will continue. Okay? Clear everyone? Yes, no? Okay. So in this process you can explain growth in the DOMA model. Okay, this is what we have in the DOMA model. Okay, I hope it is understood by you. And if there is difference between these two, suppose growth in investment, there can be three possibilities as I told. Can be greater than, equal to, less than with this unique growth rate. Equality sign we have explained already. Okay, when this is greater than, this is growth in demand is more than growth in output, and you know the analysis what we have to say. Okay. Similarly, when it is less, growth in demand is less than growth in capacity output, you know the analysis. Okay, and there is no mechanism to remove the inequality. Why? Because saving rate is given, output capital ratio is given. Okay, that is why here also you will get knifage. Okay. Only thing is that DOMA has used only one growth rate. Harrod has used 3 growth. Okay, and here we don't have any entrepreneurial behavior. In the Harrod model, we talk about entrepreneurial behavior. Harrod talk about capital output ratio. DOMA talk about output capital ratio. Okay, so there are some differences. and the methodology that they have adopted. Okay, so you have to compare both the model. Okay, and you need to make out the differences. Okay, that we will do in great detail in the next lecture.